So I'm ready. I'm ready to get out of here, get the summertime, my only free summer left in my life, ready to get that started. So research work is very mild compared to like the kind of hours we put in right now. I mean, I say I have a free summer. To me, it's free.
So my only summer off, I'm actually going to be working with one of the physicians who's here playing at the tournament today, Dr. Moore. He's works in plastic surgery, and I'm helping him go through some files of old cases and see if there are some correlations between some of the different techniques and procedures that he's sort of changed, and seeing how the outcomes are for those patients in the long run, to see if those changes were worthwhile, if they've really been of benefit to the patients that receive different procedures. So I'm just started on that, so I'm kind of learning, and we'll do that more through the summer. And I've got a trip planned as well. I'm going to Peru for 2 weeks. I've got a friend that's in the Peace Corps there, and I'm going to help her on some of her projects, and then also work in a clinic down in Cusco.
I'm going to do some research at MCG down in Augusta. I'm interested in ophthalmology, so I contacted the department down there and found a faculty member, had a project this summer and was looking for somebody to help her out. It's a glaucoma study, but it has, what I'm going to be doing has more to do with the cataract surgery. It's detecting different levels of proteins in the aqueous humor, which is a fluid in your eye. And it's going to be extracted during cataract surgery to test for different levels of proteins to study if there's going to be any changes in these protein levels in patients that have glaucoma. I think it's going to be about 3 days a week, 2 days in the OR, actually going with the surgeons to get the sample, and then another day in the lab running the test and doing some case study.
I am working with Dr. Murrow, who actually taught us a couple of classes in the cardio module. He is a cardiologist, and he is working here in Athens, and I'm going to do some research/clinical work with him. And aside from that, I might do a trip to Costa Rica, which I did back in college, but I might do a similar trip. And other than that, I'm just going to, I guess, relax the rest of the time and try to breathe and kind of just get ready for the next couple of years coming up. So. Cool. Trying to get a mix in there, because they do say that it's important to get some, you know, you don't want to just sit around and bum around all summer, but at the same time you do want to make sure you take some time to breathe.
So I applied for and was accepted into a Children's Summer Scholars Program that they have at Augusta. It's part of MCG College of Medicine, School of Medicine. And it's a neat program because it's like 3/4 research and half of it's following around physicians. So the research I'm doing is pediatric cardiovascular research on kids with cystic fibrosis. And then I'm going to spend time in the Cystic Fibrosis Center too, interacting with patients and doctors. So I'm looking forward to that. I have interest in pediatrics in general, so I applied to the program just knowing that it would be pediatric research. And within that, I was pretty open to whatever I could get into. And I think now that I'm reading more about this topic, I think it's really interesting.
Dr. Steyer here at our school recommended Dr. Schuler, who's an orthopedic surgeon, here in Athens, works for Athens Orthopedic Clinic, and he does a lot of research. And initially when I called over there, he said there weren't any openings, and so I was just thinking, wow, I'm really gonna have a free summer. And then he ended up calling back and saying he just got an opening. They're continuing research on something they had started before. They're opening it back up. And so I'll be working with him. It's like clinical trials. So you go in as the patients with certain, I think Dr. Schuler works on upper extremities, so anybody with upper extremity problems that are for the case, you go in when they go in and interview the patients and get all their information and things like that. So I could be working like 2 days a week. I could be working like 5 days a week. It's a good way of going out and meeting local physicians, potentially some that you'll be working with, later when we start doing, clerkships in our third year and that kind of stuff. So doing a little bit of that.